Hey guys, want to do a little personal get to know me. Hey Becky. So, I'm sorry I haven't been posting a lot. It's handling a lot in my head right now. Been trying to figure some things out. Praying to God and all that. Just had a really tough weekend. But I will be catching up on all my posting really soon. But today I'm gonna be posting this, a little personal get to know me. I want you guys to know a little more about me and my past. And I feel comfortable explaining this online than to someone I know. So, yeah. When I was a kid, well, to be honest, even now, I'm terrible at making friends. Something about me. When I was a little kid, I was really shy. I would really, it would become so hard to walk up to somebody and say hi to them. When I was a kid, I overthinked a lot. Thought about everything, all the scenarios in my head. And I cared about what people thought of me all the time. So much I got anxiety about talking to people that I got really good at hiding it. Putting a smile on my face, practicing what to say to people, going through all the scenarios in my head. I got really good at hiding my anxiety and hiding it. But I never really stopped caring what other people thought. When I was a kid, I figured my life was not interesting, that people wouldn't find me interesting. So I would come up with these stories, exaggerations, lies, to tell people, to make them like me. And I got really good at it. Got really good at lying and manipulating, and now that I think about it, I got that from my dad. Learned from him a bit how to lie, manipulate. It's not really something I'm proud of. I'll never be proud of it. When I was a kid, I told a group of boys that my mom was a police officer. That lie was one of the biggest ones I think I told. It took us so much explaining to make sure they didn't go to my mom and say hi. Got really good at lying. But no matter how good I was at lying, it didn't hide the truth. Some kids would thought it was weird. When I was a kid, I had a fascination with animals. And I loved stories, imaginations, fairy tales, fantasies. And I loved to exaggerate a lot. And for that, people thought I was weird, quirky. I had this little phobia when I was a kid where I had to have my hair behind my ears. I did not like it otherwise. My ears hated being touched by my hair who was over it. It had to be behind my ears. It got to the point where I was jealous of other kids and other girls who were gorgeous. They could handle it. Got to the point of where my jealousy turned into copying. Where I would practice putting my hair like this. And I would hate it. I would hate it, but I would do it to seem normal. Now, I still had this phobia, but I would do it a lot more than I do it now. I would suck my thumb and twirl my hair. when I told my hair would get really tangly, my mom hated it. And she would brush my hair, and I always hated having to get my hair brushed because it would always hurt. My dad hated how I sucked my thumb. Thought it was unusual, that I shouldn't do it because I'm not a baby. I did this whenever my head was hurting. Like I had a big headache, or I was bored, or it just helped me calm down when I had major anxiety. Like my anxiety got so much it was about to explode. I would just suck my thumb and twirl my hair and I would calm down. And whenever my mom and dad saw me doing this, my mom would try to get me to take my hand out of my hair. My dad would grab my hand and force it down on the table to make sure I didn't suck my thumb. So that's the point where I did it in secret. I would hide whenever I had to do it, or just avoid my dad seeing me, or my mom. Started practicing not doing it. Handling the headaches and handling the anxiety. I let it build up. To the point where sometimes I would run in my room, punch some pillows, or scream my pillows, or cry. I would cry a lot in my closet, cry a lot in my bedroom, and I would lock the door to make sure no one got in my room and saw me. I wanted to be the perfect girl, the perfect daughter. I didn't want anybody to see my flaws or to see my quirkiness. So I'd hide that part of me deep down. I would try to hide it, try to imitate and be the type of person everybody else would want me to be. Say the right things, agree to something. I would try to imitate people. I even used to walk really fast. I always walked faster than other people. My mom would hate it, and so would my brothers. They think I was trying to show off or something. So I learned to slow down, copy people's paces, and walk really slow. I got really annoyed by it, but I did it without question because I wanted to be that girl that everybody liked. I wanted to make people like me so I could have friends. But I got so good at pretending that I forgot to make friends. And I was really all alone. There were only two people who I was really close with when I was a kid. Everybody else was just acquaintances. I would easily forget them. But there were two people who I'd never forget. And to this day, I still remember them. I met Piper and Serena. I met Piper in Seoul and Serena in Korea. When I was a little girl, I barely remember it now, but I remember her. I remember her name, Piper. Me and her would play in church. I would get in trouble a lot and go in places I wasn't supposed to be in. And I ended up embarrassing myself a lot. I would make a point to stay by Piper's side. I felt lost and insecure if I wasn't around her. I was older than her. But I loved being around her. And I hated if I wasn't. So, when we moved to Korea, I think I was a little anxious to say goodbye to Piper. Then when I met Serena, my whole life turned around. She became my best friend. We would tell each other secrets, and we always keep them. She became the friend I never had. For some reason, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pretend around her. I was myself. I didn't care if she saw my hairy legs. Didn't care if my hair was right. How I talked. I could be myself. Didn't care if my hair was messy. Then one day we had to move again. I hated moving. I had to say goodbye again. She was the first friend I couldn't pretend around. I could be myself around, and I had to say goodbye. It hurt so much. I'd never see her again. We tried to stay in touch, but it didn't work out. Ended up forgetting what she looks like. All I remember is her name and things we did together. She loved gacha life. She loved drawing with me. Me and her were like besties. She was the first best friend I had, other than my older brother Zachariah. I'll miss her forever. And I'll remember her birthday forever. We were born in the same month. She was born on November 5th. I was born November 15th. I'll miss her forever. I still celebrate her birthday to this day. And we moved away from the city. That's when it became harder to make friends. Didn't know how to act. It took us a while to find a good church. Found Highlands. It was an amazing church. People were so welcoming. I got back to pretending. Back to lying. I became the type of girl everyone would despise. A fake. As you all know, my mom and dad are divorced. I know people say I don't act like my dad, but the more and more I think about it, I do. For some reason, it's so easy. It's so easy for me I can act like him. I got my love for music from him. Got my capability to lie and manipulate from him. I got a lot of things from him, including anger issues. I try to forget a lot of things he did. To my mom, to me, my brothers. I try to push it down and forget about it, saying it was normal. That it was just another part of life. And that he had a right to do this. Something like that. That he was my dad. But deep down I knew that one day this was going to happen. One day. This whole divorce was going to happen. But yet, it still feels unreal. People thought we were the perfect family. They never saw my dad behind closed doors. Never saw him when he was alone. And I hated that. They never saw the real him. I hate that. And when this all came out, right after I was just starting to settle in, I was starting to think maybe I didn't have to pretend anymore. That the people that I've met would want to, that they would still be my friend even if I was the real me. Right when I was starting to settle in, it all came crashing down. And it feels like everything once I obtain it, once I think that I'm starting to be myself, everything comes crashing down. But I guess God works in miracles. One miracle after another. Because no matter how tough the situation feels like, Mom's lawyer's making it work. She's making sure that my dad loses. And Highlands, even though everything that's going on is happening, they're still on my mom and me's side. They still believe us. I don't think they're falling for my dad's tricks. In this new church I've gone to, I've met so many people, made so many new friends. I got their numbers, and I've met so many more people who are on my side and are my friends. I'm starting to actually have a life. I'm starting to be me more, and I'm starting to stop pretending that everything's fine. To stop hiding my anxiety. To be myself. To go out there and be quirky and be embarrassing and to not care what people think of me. I'll still care a little bit. And now I have this social media platform, and I'm starting a music career. I'm starting to sing more. I'm starting to make more friends and best friends, and I'm starting to get help. Go to therapy, go talk to my mom, talk to my friends, and share the load and weight that's on me. I'm beginning to realize I don't have to go through this alone. Now this part's out for y'all. If what I just told you sounds familiar, like it's familiar to your life, if you're pretending or you're acting or you're bearing it deep down, you feel like people will hate you if they saw the real you. Don't be afraid. I learned that the hard way. People love you. There are people out there who will love you, and people out there who hate you don't care. The people that will hate you, their words don't matter. They say things and do things to make themselves feel more powerful and control, and like they're in the control, but they're not. The people that love you and cherish you, their words are the ones that really matter. This is a little advice from a person who used to hide their life, to pretend. From one pretender to another, you gotta stop. Don't hide yourself. Be yourself. It's the way God made you, the way God designed you. He made you the way you are. You know what? Your freak flag fly. You got my support. Share this to a friend you know, to a family member you may know, who is going through something similar. I think they need it. Remember to like and subscribe, and see y'all later.